Today. Today we are going to conclude this chapter. This chapter is titled as The External Reasons of the Appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll begin, and thanks again. Let's welcome all of you saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari Bol.
Okay, we'll start.
We have to welcome Simhesvara Prabhu.
Yeah, Simhesvara Prabhu Jai Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. So if you can repeat after me, that'd be nice. Again, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrutyam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Cheva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tado Jayamudhiraye
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigim.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtikam.
We are reading from Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 3, which is titled as The External Reasons of the Appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are going to conclude. This is the last 3 verses of this chapter. And if you can, please repeat after me. Ei slokera artha kahi samkshepera sara.
Ei slokera artha kahi samkshepera sara.
Bhaktera ichaya krishnera sarva avatara.
Bhaktera ichaya krishnera sarva avatara.
The synonyms. A, this. Lokera of the verse. Artha, the meaning. Kahi, I relate. Samkshepera of consciousness. Tara, the pith. Bhaktera of the devotee. Ichaya, by the desire. Krishnera of Lord Krishna. Sarva, all. Avatara, incarnations. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat after me. The essence of the meaning of this verse.
The essence of the meaning of this verse
Is that
Lord
Krishna appears.
Lord Krishna appears
in all his innumerable eternal forms.
In all his
innumerable eternal forms.
Because
Because
of the desires of his pure devotees.
of the desires
of his pure devotee.
Next verse. Chadurtha slokera artha haila sunichide avadirna haila gaura prima prakashide. Synonyms. Chadurtha, fourth, slokera of the verse. Artha, the meaning. Haila was. Sunichide, very surely. Avadirna haila, incarnated. Gaura, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema, love of God. Prakashide, to manifest. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please repeat after me. Thus I have surely determined.
Thus I have surely determined
the meaning of the fourth verse.
The meaning of the fourth verse.
Lord Gauranga.
Lord Gauranga.
Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya
appeared as an incarnation.
Appeared as an incarnation.
To preach. Unalloyed love of God.
Unalloyed love of God.
Last verse. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Synonyms. Sri Rupa Goswami. Raghunatha, Sri Raghunathas Goswami. Pade, at the lotus feet of Yara, whose Asha, expectation. Chaitanya Charitamrita, the book named Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kahe, describes Krishna Dasa, Sri Krishna, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Translation, please repeat after me. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa
Praying at the lotus feet of the Sri Rupa
and Sri Raghunatha,
and Sri Raghunatha,
always desiring their mercy.
always desiring their mercy.
I, Krishna Dasa,
Krishnadasa narrates
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita,
following in their footsteps.
following in their footsteps.
Perfect. Thus end the Bhakti Veda, the purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 3rd chapter, describing external reasons for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salagaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stabidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadadi Supatandigam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapadagammalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanidam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sagidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalidam Shri Vishakhanidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Taptakanchana Gauranki Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Lokanath Swami Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswada Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Harihi Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining this very auspicious satsang, hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially when we come together, especially on the evening times. There are 3 sandhyas for a day. There is, Parada Sandhya, and then Madhyana Sandhya, then Sayam Sandhya. So these 3 sandhyas are very important, very auspicious, because of the Lord's presence are there on these sandhyas, especially Lord Shiva. Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned that Lord Shiva travels on the ether 3 times, morning, noon, and evening, for his Sandhya Vandana. Lord Shiva himself does that. So when Lord appears, and all the demigods, all the potencies, and there is Savitri, there is Saraswati, and Gayatri, all appears on the same time. So there are very auspicious time on the daytime. The mornings, I am Sandhya, which is Prada Sandhya, which is mentioned that 6 to 9. Then 12 o'clock, the noon time, the Madhyana. Then Sayam Sandhya, again 6 to 9, very auspicious time. The one who engages, and I especially mentioned that in olden days, we have this habit of lighting the lamp at the evening. So it invokes the Lakshmi. It says that Mother Lakshmi appears on this time. If you don't do that, if you sleeping on this evening time, don't do any devotional activities, instead of Sri Lakshmi or Sri Devi, who comes? Mudevi or Alakshmi, right? It comes to that house. So this is very auspicious moments, auspicious sandhyas that we can meditate. So it's mentioned that in whichever home, whichever houses, the Lord's name is vibrated on this time, there'll be Lakshmi. The Lord is always reside such houses. It's very powerful. So we should always keep that in mind. This is the time that we can, let's say early morning, Brahma Muhurta, we chant, then all the worship in the morning. Noontime, we chant our Gayatri, Abhijit Muhurta, then Saim Sandhya. So we light the lamp, we worship the Lord, we offer the Arati, Bhoga, everything. It purifies us. It's also the presence of the Lord is there always with such homes, such devotees. So very powerful. Always remember that. Then we were going through this very beautiful chapter, the external reasons of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are concluding today with this chapter, and which is mentioned that Lord Krishna, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that the essence of meaning of this verse is that Lord Krishna appears in his all innumerable eternal forms because of the desires of his pure devotees. So here we are describing about the external reasons of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this beginning of this chapter, we saw that there are three reasons Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. These are the external reasons. Anybody remembers the three reasons Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears into this material universe? Anybody? Anybody remembers?
For the external reason you're talking,
Yes.
the one to give a Advaita. Last we discussed Advaita Acharya's prayer
Yes,
to
of course.
do that. That was the last one we talk
Fulfill,
about.
yes, to
To
fulfill the desires of his pure devotee. So here it is, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that the essence of this verse is Lord Krishna appears in innumerable eternal forms because of his desires of his pure devotees. In order to fulfill the desires of his pure devotees, Lord manifests. No doubt into that. Because of the Lord is very much attached, devoted to his devotees. Okay. What are the next reason? Other two
give a
reasons.
Vraj Prema.
Vraj Prema, the Prema Bhakti, right? In order to bestow the Prema Bhakti or Vraja Bhakti, Vraja Prema. So Vraja Prema, we know that in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, that it gives that especially the gopis, the Prema, the Bhakti, the devotion of the gopis, the Vraja gopis. So this is referring as the Vraja Prema. There is nothing superior or that for Krishna than the gopis than Krishna. Nothing else. We know that the story of when Nardadev, Nardadev came before the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and then asked about that, oh Lord, who is your, the foremost of the devotees? So Narada thought that, Krishna will tell the Narada Dev is, the Lord's pure devotee and the foremost devotee of. So, but Krishna said that my pure devotee are my gopis. So Narada wondered, this cowherd, this damsels of, the cowherd, the gopis, the ladies and the girls, how come they have become so pure? Or Krishna is so much attached to such devotees? And then Krishna told Narada that, you will find out. So then Krishna just mentioned that, okay, I have a headache. I have a headache. So, what to do? But I need the dust of the pure devotees. So then Narada was thinking also that I'm also a devotee, but how can I give my, the dust from my feet to the Lord's, lotus face, lotus, on the forehead? So Narada just went around and asking everybody. Everybody said, no, 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 we cannot get that sin because of, we will definitely incur the sin if we put that the dust on the Lord's face, our dust, because of that's purely sinful. So Narada finally came and reached to the gopis. And then immediately the gopis heard that Krishna had a headache. The remedy, the solution is that the dust from the devotees' feet. So immediately they scratched their feet and it was going through different places and they didn't think anything else. Just the dust from the feet of the gopis. They scratched everything and gave it to Narada. Please immediately go. It was their mood. Immediately go and put it on the forehead of Krishna. So Narada took and then brought it and applied. Krishna said, have you noticed now? Have you seen that who is the pure devotee? So they didn't think anything else. So there is no comparison, there is no parallel for the devotees, the gopis, the devotion of the gopis in Vrindavan. So that's kind of prema. So in order to give that kind of prema, the Supreme Lord appeared on this planet. Then other reason, and what the third reason? Anybody else? Anybody remembers the third reason?
Establish the Yuga Dharma.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mother. Establish the Yuga Dharma in this age of Kali. Kalir Kale, Nama Rupa, Krishna Avadar. Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Iva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gadiranyata. There is one, very complete guna, the quality of in this age of Kali, that is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, it reveals that. The Sukadev Goswami mentioned the Parishit Maharaj and mentioning like this, Kalir Doshe Nidan Rajan Ashtiyego Ki Mahan Guna O Rajan. There is one great quality in this age of Kali, that is, Ashtiyego Ki Mahan Guna Kirtanadasya Krishnasya. To chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, Mukta Sangam Param Brajet, one can attain that the Supreme Abode. This is 5,000 years ago. Sukadev Goswami mentioned this to Parishit Maharaj. This all has to, the devotees' desires, the words, everything has to be fulfilled. So this Sankirtan in this age of Kali, Kalir Doshe Nidan Rajan, in this age of Kali, there is full of faults and quarrel and hypocrisy and full of faults. But there is one good quality, that is the Kirtanadasya Krishnasya. If one takes the holy name, Kirtanadasya Krishnasya, what happens? Mukta Sangha Param Brajed, one can attain that supreme abode, Mukta Sangam Param Brajed. So in order to fulfill all this, and then Krishna appeared in this planet in order to give the Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? Sankirtana Prayar. Yajande Sankirtana Prayar, Jandihi Sumeda Saha, Krishna Varnam Trisha Akrishnam, Sango Pangarsha Pashadam Yajnehi, Yajne Sankirtana Prayar, Ajandihi Sumeda Sa. So in order to establish this Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name, the Supreme Lord Himself manifested in this world. So let's summarize this chapter so that we can have a complete picture of that what it was exactly mentioned. So many times, we forget. So let's see that what exactly it is revealing this entire chapter, so that it's be very, clear for us. So we can see that in the first four verses, the prelude, and Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami paying the obeisances. And then we say, come to that, the fourth verse. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that I given the meaning of the fourth verse. What is that, the meaning of fourth verse? Describing the wonderful external appearances of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that external appearance? That fourth verse, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami revealing here, says that Anarpida Charim Chirat Karunya Vadarnida Kalau. It is mentioned that he has mercifully appeared in the age of Kali. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning, Anarpida Charim Chirat Karunya Avadarnida Kalau, in this age of Kali, Karunya Avadara, Maha Audarya Gauranga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also known as Audarya Gauranga, magnanimous, very magnanimous, his magnanimity. Mahavadanyaya, that's Mahavadanyaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. That Supreme Personality of God is so merciful in this age of Kali. Even the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Padita Pavana Prabhu Tava Avadare. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karu More. Narottam Das Thakur singing beautiful bhajan. Tava Avadare Padita Pavana Prabhu Tava. In order to deliver this most fallen conditioned soul from this material universe, that's the appearance, the reasons for your appearance in this world. Narottam Das Thakur was singing so nicely. So, like this, is Mahavadanya, is Karuna Avadarna, Karuna Avadirna. So, in order to give this magnanimity, this mercy to everybody, Avadirna means to come down. Kala, in this age of Kali, Samarpayidum Unnadhojala Rasam. See that the reasons? Unnadhojala Rasam. Samarpayidum, in order to give that Unnadhojala Rasam. Ujjwala Rasam. What is that Ujjwala Rasam? Ujjwala Rasa is that the Prema Bhakti, that to bestow most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So it's mentioned that in sadhana bhakti, it is not achievable. In sadhana bhakti and bhav bhakti and prema bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is one can attain all the four types of liberations, but one cannot come to this. The prema bhakti or madhurya bhakti, or the conjugal, eternal conjugal loving relationship with the Supreme, which is not possible. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that it is very difficult for the people in this, especially in this age of Kali. So this is the only way that one can come to that stage, that eternal, the Prema Bhakti, the topmost devotion, that is Prema Bhakti or Madhurya Bhakti. So in order to establish that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifested. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is revealing this. Then Haripurada Sundara Dhudi Kadamba Sandipadaha says that he is resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. This is the external feature of the Supreme Lord. And then Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuradhu va Sachi Nandanaha. May the Supreme Lord, son of Sachi, The transcendental is situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami giving a very beautiful description of the appearance of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we saw that the three reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So in order to give, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is revealing that in the beginning itself. Then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami expanding this all very beautifully. Then we know that in the further verses, and Krishnadas Kaviraj explain or glorify the appearance of Krishna. So, in order to understand the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we also should understand the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in the Goloka Vrindavan, in the planet of the Goloka Vrindavana, the Krishna is eternally endures into the past times. So, as mentioned that Purna Bhagavan Krishna Bhajendra Kumara. So, the Supreme, the complete, the Purna Purushottama, the Krishna is complete in Goloka Vrindavan. That's what is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami further explains in the verses. And it says that the once in a day of Brahma, that same Krishna descends into this material world. One day of Brahma, that means 1,000 yuga cycle. 1,000 yuga cycle, 1,000 Divya yugas. Then further it says that Krishna appears into the 71 Divya yugas, right? So there is Manvantaras. So when the 28th Manvantara, Divya yugas, so 71 Manvantaras, and then 27th day of that, each day is 1,000 yuga cycle. So likes that, when it is like 27th Divya yugas, likes that 71 cycles of it, then at the end of the Opera Yuga, the 28th Divya Yuga, Lord Krishna appears. So it is very accurately mentioned that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So then, as is mentioned that, so when the sadhana bhakti, when one practices this devotion in sadhana bhakti means practicing. Sadhana means practice. Sadhana bhakta means practicing devotee. It's not matured enough. He's in the beginning stage. So sadhana means as per the rules and regulations, as per the instructions of a devotee or a spiritual master or a guru, one engages in the devotional service, not complete, not surrendered complete to the Krishna, but out of obligation, out of duty, out of the the following the footsteps and following the words. So one is obligated. One is obligated to follow this bhakti. That's bhakti is called sadhana bhakti. Like sometimes we say that to the devotees, okay, chant this many rounds of holy name. So that's sadhana bhakti. Or we say that, okay, please come and do this service, sadhana bhakti. Okay, offer this, offer to the the bhoga to the Lord, sadhana bhakti. All these are by the instructions and by following the rules and regulations, which is called sadhana or practicing. So we are practicing devotees, but the understanding is that practicing devotees also enters into the Vaikuntha. He can attain this, this various types of liberation if one follows the sadhana bhakti sincerely. Okay, then but sadhana, it doesn't stop there. So devotee does not even endeavor for or desires for any kind of liberation, right? As is mentioned that in the Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion. Anasakya savishayat yadarkam upayinjade nirbande Krishna sambande yukta vairagya muchyade anyabhilashida shunyam jnana karmadya anavrutam anukulena Krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttama. Anyabhilashida shunyam. A devotee, a pure devotee, devoid of all the different kinds of desires. Even for liberations, deride, moksha lakuta kruti, means he derides even the liberation, right? The pure devotee, that's the benefits of pure devotional service. He can deride even the liberations that which he can attain from this sadhana bhakti. Even the bhakti and the mukti is the doorkeepers of such devotees, sadhana bhaktas. So he should not have any doubt about that. Sadhana bhakti has such a great power, potency. Even one can attain the Vaikuntha just by the sadhana bhakti, but that's not good enough to attain the prema bhakti. The Krishna's love, the love for the Supreme Lord, that the Vraja prema, the Goloka prema, that's not good enough. So, in order to give that, the Supreme Lord manifests like this. So, in this way, Krishna is also mentioned that. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami likes this. So Krishna then, unmanifested from this world and went back to Goloka Vrindavan. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that, So Krishna was remembering now, okay, I mentioned to Arjuna that, okay, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamegam Sharanam Raja Aham Tam Sarva Bhabebhyam Mokshekshami Ma Sujaha. But I have not described enough that how they should surrender to me, how they should perform the loving devotion, and what is that devotion. And if we execute that devotion, everybody does something or other, that's okay. But they have not come to that purity, pure form of devotion. So Krishna was remembering like this. So then Krishna decided to come down in this world in order to teach that, in order to give that the pure, loving, devotional form. So this was also Krishna's Garaj Goswami mentioning in the beginning of these verses, as is mentioned that Chirakala nahi kari prema bhakti dana bhakti bina jagadera nahi avasthana, as is mentioned that. Long time upon the inhabitants of the world, without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless. So with the Krishna Bhakti, the Krishna Prema, the Krishna consciousness, as mentioned that the existence of the material world is useless. The devotees, our ultimate purpose of the goal of the life, the existence of our life is nothing but to attain Jivera Swarupa Khoi Krishnera Nityadas. Eternally, we should be the servants of the Supreme Lord. The Krishna Jivera Swarupa Khoi, the eternal identity of the Jiva is Swarupa Khoi Krishnera Nityadas. Nityadas, eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in order to give that kind of blessings or the mercies, our that blessings upon such devotees, the Lord decided to come down in this world. Then we know that I just mentioned that the limitations of the Vaidhi Bhakti, it was also Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that in the beginning of this chapter. Then Krishna decided to come down into this world as Lord Chaitanya. So then Lord was desiring like this. I would establish the Nama Sankirtana. I shall inaugurate the Nama Sankirtana and then make the world dance in ecstasy and then realizing the four rasas. So Krishna himself thinking that is, I would come down, I would give this to the people all over in the people in the world, and then so that they would dance in ecstasy with the joy. So dear devotees, remember that when a devotee comes into that platform of the bhakti, the pure devotion, he would forget himself. We know that so many times when there is one time when there was a Sankirtan was going on. Then Haridas Thakur heard that Sankirtan, Haridas Thakur heard that Sankirtan, and immediately Haridas Thakur started to dance in ecstasy. And then finally, Haridas Thakur then just, unconscious and fall down unconscious, and everybody became so astonished, seeing that the pure devotion, the pure, the pure heart of the Haridas Thakur, and seeing that just by hearing the holy name, that he lost himself and forgot himself and danced in ecstasy. Seeing this, there was one snake charmer. He also thought that, okay, I would also get some kind of, some kind of appreciation, some kind of name, and so I'm also so and so devotee. He's also started to dance, but everybody saw that he's pretending. So everybody beaten him up and then go away and told that. So when there is a pure form devotion manifest in the heart, as soon as we hear the holy name, our heart becomes so joyful. That's what is also mentioned that when we see a devotee, our hearts become so joyful because of this is the pure form of devotion in our heart. Seeing a devotee, hearing the holy name, seeing the form of the Lord. We know that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he sees the cloud, forget himself, he runs towards it. We know that story of when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the ocean. The sea shows that the black color of the sea, the ocean, the bluish color of the sea. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows that this is my Krishna. He's jumped into the water. Then we know that the story, and everybody, a fisherman caught in the net, and we saw that because of that ecstasy, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shrinked all his angas, all his hands and the legs inside the body. It's called Kurma, avatar, the Kurma Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kurma form of the Lord's appearance. So like this, so in order to teach and also experience the same thing, and in order to practice that the same thing, so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So it's mentioned that Krishna decided that I shall teach by my example. So then Krishna thought that I would take a role of a devotee to teach bhakti, by practicing it myself. So, dear devotees, the best way to preach is to practice ourselves. We can say so many things unless and until we practice the same. Then practice makes perfect, and practice and seeing others, seeing doing this, the devotion, naturally it will attract to others as well. So it's very important to listen that as well. We should practice all the devotion, all the that what acharya has given to us. We should practice so that others will see it. We practice at the home, the every family members appreciate that. But if we start to pretend, we start to complain, start to say, whining on it. Oh, I am so and so. I'm seeing that, or others are seeing that it's so difficult to perform this, so struggling. The others will think that, okay, what he's doing, what he's trying to do, and why he is struggling, why did then take up this bhakti, the process of bhakti. Then everybody will start to complain and see the fault in it. But the devotee, those who are committed, those who are promised, those who are take vow, we should follow that strictly in the devotion that which we promised, so that others will also see that this is very joyful. In fact, the joy, the bhakti, the loving devotion should be performed very joyfully. So this way, Krishna himself decided that, okay, I would practice this so that others can see and others can follow this. So this way, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna himself, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, decided to come down on this planet. So then further it was mentioning that the Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about the descents of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how is that. So when Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like lion-like Lord Chaitanya, lion-like. It's called Chaitanya Simha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, another name was Chaitanya Simha. Anybody remember the other names of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Anybody remember? Any other names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Hare Krishna. Are you there? Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I didn't actually. I was away. I didn't hear the question. Did somebody say something? Vishambhar?
Yes, Vishwambhar. What is the Vishwambhara means?
Maintains the whole Vishwa.
Yes, yes. He nourishes the maintains the three worlds by distributing prema. Vishwambhara. Ambara, another meaning of Ambara means this sky, this entire vast universe. Vishwambhara means the entire universe. He covers. And how he covers it? Nourishes and maintains the three worlds by distributing prema, Vishwambhara. That's another name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Vishwambhara. What is the other names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Other name? Any other name? Anybody remembers? Initiated name? Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. What was the childhood name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Nimai.
And Nimai, after even up to that age of when he comes to the age of 12, everybody started to call him Nimai Pandit.
Yes.
Why? Anybody remembers Nimai Pandit?
Because he was very intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, very intelligent.
He even started a school to teach the Sanskrit to others. And at that age, we can remember that then Keshava Kashmiri came and defeated Keshava Kashmiri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the Digvijay Pandit. This was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So beautiful. Then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also mentioning that there was a prediction of Garga Muni. What was the prediction of Garga Muni? Anybody remembers? What was the prediction?
Sri Chaitanya Prabhu is the Krishna himself.
Krishna himself, and Garga Muni also predicted about the colors of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What was that?
Golden color.
Yes, yellow color in Kali. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that this Garga Muni was also predicted this before. And how was predicted? This, and when Garga Muni, Gargacharya was name giving ceremony for Krishna, that time Garga Muni was referring and mentioning this. This boy has other three colors. This boy is appeared before. The boy has three other colors. One is white, another is red, and the yellow. And he appears in the age of Satyuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And this is mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And Krishna is also in this Dwapara. Gargamuni mentioned that in blackish color. In Dwapara Yuga, Lord descends as blackish hue. He is dressed in yellow, holds weapons, and is decorated with the Kaustubha jewel. Very beautiful. And then also in the Krishna Skaraj Goswami says that Kali Yuge Yuge Dharma Namera Prachara Tahi Lagi Pida Varna Chaitanya Avatara. In the age of Kali, the holy name, in order to broadcast, in order to establish and distribute this holy name, Lord appears as Lord appeared in this age of Kali as a part of Yuga Dharma. So then Krishna Skaraj Goswami very beautifully describes about the beautiful form of the Lord. And it's some few verses also Krishna Kaviraj Goswami mentioned about that. He's like a molten gold. His body is enormous. Prakanda, it is mentioned that Prakanda, measuring 4 cubits in height and width. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's the bodily, the form. Such a person is known as Mahapurusha. So there are Mahapurusha, Niryoda, Parigamandala. So Mahapurusha, these are the various symptoms of a Mahapurusha, and which is mentioned in the Niryoda Mandala. Then his arms are extending down to his knees. And he was very tall, almost 7 feet. This was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tall. He was so tall, 7 feet. And this is naturally comes for the Mahapurusha. When Lord Ram appeared, Lord Ram was very tall. And like that. So then arms are extending down to his knees, voice deeper than thundering new assembled clouds. It's very, powerful, the sounds. Eyes like the lotus flowers, the nose like a sesame flower, and face beautiful as the moon. Like it's Krishna, Sri Krishna Chandra. Why we say Sri Krishna Chandra? Because of Krishna's face is like a moon. The lotus face is like a moon. Similarly, Krishna, the weekends, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have seen the picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on a full, Purnima, the full moon. The lotus face is also like a full moon, which is very glorious. So always Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is anointed with the pulp, the sandalwood pulp, decorated with the sandalwood bangles and armlets. So beautiful. So we know that the story of when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so beautiful, he had long hair. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 24 decided to take initiation from the Keshav Bharati, and then went to the Bangladesh. And this there is a place called forgot the place. So there was a barber was there. So barber was seeing the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided that he is going to shave off his head, the beautiful hair. The barber was not, ready to do that. Barber was thinking that, Lord, beautiful hair, how can I touch with my, the knife on the head of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and shave off all these beautiful hairs? He's none other than the Supreme Lord himself. How can I do that? He's weeping. He was weeping like anything. And then finally, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally instructed, don't delay anymore, my dear. Please do so. With very lovingly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying to this barber. Then hesitatingly, then this barber, shave off the head. And then everybody was crying, just that beautiful, that hair, which then again, as soon as this shave off, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, showing that such a beautiful, the light emanating from the face and showing everybody that such a glorious form, beautiful form. Then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back to the village, and then it's mentioned that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that then thousands of people were coming to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thousands of people. And then they were mentioning that Krishna Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that, and the people those came to see the Lord, see the beauty of the Lord, they have not seen these people before in any time. These are even celestial people who are coming to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that time like this. So Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is so nicely explaining all this and also mentioning that the qualities of Lord Chaitanya, the qualities of Lord Chaitanya is Shanda, very peaceful. Danda means self-controlled. Krishna Bhakti Nishta Parayana, fully devoted to the service of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Bhakta Valsala, affectionate towards his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, he was very merciful. He was Patita Pavana. His appearance is to bring all the fallen conditioned souls to Krishna. So then instructed to Sri Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu told that, okay, Jare Deko Tare, go Krishna Upadesh. Go and tell everyone. But on the other hand, we read that every day from the Padma Purana that do not instruct this holy name to an non-devotee or an unfaithful person. It is a sin. But on the Lord himself comes down and Lord takes that kind of, risk. And Lord takes that. Lord personally knows that. But he's taking that risk, absorbing everything like a spiritual master. When a spiritual master initiated devotee, initiated, us accepting as his disciple, spiritual master is absorbing all these sinful reactions to the, spiritual master and absorbing it. I'm taking everything. Now I am accepting you as my disciple because of I'm absorbing, accepting everything, all the sinful reactions from you. Now you are getting a birth, a new birth, a spiritual birth. I removed all your sins from your body, from you. So now onwards you are free of the karma. So, but then what happens? We are very thankless and ungrateful. And then we continue to do this. And so what happens? And then all that sinful reaction goes back to the body of the spiritual master. But the spiritual master is very powerful. He is pure and chanting the holy name. So when he chants the holy name, pure, it may not affect. But most of our, we can see that most of our senior Vaishnavas and spiritual masters, they go through difficult time in their life. Like Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj went through cancer. It was mentioned that because of accepting all this, that they are absorbing all this. And a devotee, a senior devotee or a bhakta, when they go out and preach and teach to others, what he is trying actually doing when he comes and contact with a person, a karmi person or a person outside, he is actually delivering such people and absorbing it, the karma, half of this karma. When a person does these various sacrifices to the others on behalf of others, he is taking such a risk because of they are very merciful. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very merciful. So his descendants into this world is just for one purpose to elevate everybody to back to Krishna, bring back to the Golok Vrindavan. So give that Krishna prema. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed to Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu and go and preach this. Jare Deko Tare Kaho Krishna Padesh. So this was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haridas Thakur took such a risk of life and went to Jagai and Madai. We know that the wonderful pastimes of Jagai and Madai. Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu was most merciful. Even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that this Jagai and Madai is going to attack Nityananda Prabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes so furious, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invited the Sudarsana Chakra so that he can kill this notorious, this very, very criminals, abominable, the criminals. But Nityananda Prabhu caught hold of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and requested and pleaded, "Oh Lord, please don't do this. Your appearance in this world is not to kill, but to liberate." And then seeing this mercy, seeing the mercy, showering the mercy in Nityananda Prabhu to Jagai and Madai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even pacified. So this is Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu also an Adi Guru and the Guru Tattva. So Guru is the very merciful. So the Guru takes all the risk to deliver his disciples. So, but disciples are not up to that, the desires of his Guru. So this is very important lessons to understand. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always there. He is what? He is Krishna Bhakti Nishta Parayana. He is always ready to teach that Krishna Bhakti to everyone, giving that Krishna Bhakti to each and everyone. And he is Bhakta Valsala. He is affectionate towards his devotees. And he is Sushila, gentle, very gentle. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his words are so gentle. And if you go through Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the way the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches, we know that the story of this, the Sankirtan movement, the party, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to this Kasi. He was breaking the Sankirtan movement. But as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't go and tell that, okay, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the Kasim and mentioned that I'm your mama, I'm your uncle. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so merciful towards each and everyone. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from the Kasim, what happened? Kasim and the entire family promised that I would be the devoted to you or your entire generations. And if you go to Bengal, you can see that the place where the Kasim and skilled devotees goes there. And they completely given and their entire family generations they given up and they surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. So then, as we can say that also there are various references which reveals in the scriptures that the external reasons for the appearance and is also revealed in the scriptures, especially in the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. So in the Vishnu Sahasranama, it is mentioned that Suvarna Varna Hemango Varnangas Chandanangadi. This is mentioned that in the first part of the Adi Lila, as is mentioned that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's another name, as is mentioned that Suvarna Varna, he is in a molten golden form. Hemanga, the golden form. Varnanga, and Chandanangadi. Varnanga means his limbs are very beautiful. His body is smeared with the sandalwood pulp. Chandanangadi means Chandana means sandalwood pulp, and his body is smeared with the sandalwood pulp, and his limbs are very Varnangadi means his limbs are very beautiful. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varna Chandanangadi. Then it is mentioned that in the Madhya Lila part of it, and Sanyasagrit Chamat Sando. As mentioned that Sanyasagrit, and this is mentioned in the Vishnu Sahasranama, as is mentioned that, and he accepts, this is 5,000 years ago, which Vishnu Sahasranama revealed by Vyasadeva. And we know that. So in that book, Vyasadeva is also Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vyasa is also Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. And the incarnation of the Lord Vishnu is also Vyasadeva. So Lord knows that. Vyasadeva knows that. And this is what is the Lord is going to manifest in this world in this color and in this form and in these activities. It says the sannyasa chamas chando, that means he accepts the sannyasa order and he is equiposed and very peaceful. Very peaceful, Shando. Then Nishta, Shanti, Nishta, Parayana. Shanti Nishta means he is the highest abode of peace. Shanti Nishta. Parayana, devotion is always Nishta. Parayana means chanting of the holy name. And as is mentioned that Shanti Nishta Parayana, he is always chant the holy name. This way, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami also reveal that the scriptural references of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like this. So then we know that Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives this wonderful, glorious descriptions of Krishna Varnam Tasha Krishna, Sango Pangasha Parshadam, Yajne Sankirtana Prayar, Ejandihi Sumedasa, that he constantly sings the name of Krishna, Krishna Varnam. This is Varnam and Varnam. Varnam means also descriptions of the holy name. Always chant the holy name. Krishna Varnam, Krisha Akrishna. Akrishna means the color of. He is in the Krishna. Krishna is a blackish, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not in the blackish form, but in the Akrishna, not in the blackish form. And he is Krishna himself. Krishna Varnam Trisha Akrishna. Sango Pangarsha Parshadam Yajne Sankirtana Praya. In this age of Kali, in order to deliver, in order to establish this Yuga Dharma, chanting of the holy name, Yajandihi Sumedasa, the most confidential knowledge, and this will be understood by the most intelligent people and diligent persons in this age of Kali. So this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, revealing that, the external, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami revealing the external reasons of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this section of this Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then, as mentioned that, Lord Chaitanya drives away sins and increases the bhakti. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very nicely mentioned that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quoting the verses from the Stavamala. And what is that? Smitalogasshokam haradi jagadam yasya parito giram ta pramumpa kushala patalim palyavati padalambe kamva pranayadi nahi prema nivaham sadevas chaitanya kudur adiratam na kripayadu. His smiling glance at once drives away all bereavements. The devotees, so thousands of people are attracted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, thousands of people were following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know that in the 60,000 of the Prakashananda Saraswati disciples were immediately attracted to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The moment Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the assembly of this Prakashananda Saraswati, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting in the back. Because of that, the attraction, the beauty of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the magnanimity, and then everybody attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's not an ordinary person. They said, "You are not an ordinary person. Please come and sit with us." So, smiling face of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu drives away all bereavements. Then his words enliven the auspicious scriptures of devotion. Even just little bit, one who hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know that the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Vedantist, a Mayavadi, a Dvaitavadi. But just by hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became so devoted. And even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't want to leave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even for a moment after that it was mentioned. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very much in pain when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to go to South India Yatra for next 6 years. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya followed for quite some time. This was the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is attracting to everyone. Then it's mentioned that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that one who takes the shelter of his lotus feet invokes transcendental love of God at once. Invokes transcendental love at once. The devotee Srila Prabhupada initially mentioned that one does not need to worship anybody else. Anybody else. In this age of Kali, the most worshipful deity is Sri Gauranitai. They are most merciful. It is revealed even in the scripture that if one who says just by Gauranga or Nityananda, just by the utter just this one word, one who says the Gauranga, Nityananda Prabhu says that one who utters the word just Gauranga, one can derive the great mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. This is the most merciful Lord. Just say Gauranga, that's good enough. And when we say Gauranga Nityananda, the mercy, the Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then that devotee never falls down or never go away or never get an opportunity. He will always progress in bhakti, always one who take up this holy name, Gauranga Nityananda, dear devotees. So this is very, very powerful and wonderful. So as mentioned that his darshana, his lotus face, his darshana is disappears, destroys all sins. Anyone who sees his beautiful body of faith become free from all sins and obtains the wealth of love of Godhead. It says that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Anga Sri Mukhaye Kare Darshana Tara Pava Kshaya Haya Paya Premadhana. It's mentioned that Sri Anga Sri Mukha. Just by seeing his limbs and his Mukha lotus face, Eskare Darshana, one who sees Tara Pava Kshaya. Kshaya means diminishes. Papakshaya, Tara Papakshaya, Haya Paya Premadhana. So this is the reasons for the appearance of Chaitanya Lord Sri Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give that the love of Godhead to each and every one. So this way, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is revealing these very, very beautiful sections of, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then it is mentioned that Krishna appears becomes because of his devotees' desires. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very beautifully mentioning, "Oh my Lord," this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahma praised this one. Brahma prays to Krishna, "Oh my Lord, who are glorified by exalted prayers, you show special favor to your devotees by manifesting yourself in the eternal forms in which they welcome you." So Krishna always fulfilled the desires of his devotees. No doubt into that. This was Brahma is revealing in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the in the sections of the third canto, 9th chapter, 11th verse. Brahma even praying that. So Krishna always fulfilled the desires of his devotees. So we know that the beautiful pastimes of why Krishna also manifested just in order to fulfill the words of Narada Muni. We know that the story of Nalakuvera and Manigriva. The Narada, they cursed the Malakuvera and Manigriva. They were very intoxicated, the heavenly beings. And when Narada appeared, the ladies of that who was intoxicated and playing games within the water, and they tried to somehow ashamed of it, and they just went away. But these intoxicants, these Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were just enjoying and not even noticed that the great personality Narada appeared before them. Narada became so wondered that how a person can fall down like this. So Narada cursed that, you are behaving like this, not even animal, not even a human, but like a dumb people, dumb elements. So be like a tree in the courtyard of Nanda Bhavan. So be there a tree. This was the Narades. Be like a tree, become a tree. So then they realized, they came to their consciousness and they pleaded to Narada, requested to Narada, we forgotten ourselves, please forgive us. When there is a forgiven, there is a surrender, there is some little, respect to the devotee. Devotees are always compassionate, paradukha dukhi. They never take anything, very seriously. Anything that which a devotee does for anybody in this world is nothing but just for the mercy of it. As is mentioned that Chaitanya Charamrita says that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kai, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Leva matra, even a little bit moment of association of a devotee can eradicate and give all the siddhis to that person, that most fortunate person who is associating with. Similarly, Narada Dev then compassionate said that you be in the courtyard of Nanda Bhavan on the 28th Divya Yuga, that the Krishna will appear and will deliver you, both of you. This was a mercy of Sri Narada Dev. And this was many, hundreds of years or thousands of years before it's happened. So Krishna heard these words. The devotees are promised to these two personalities, I should appear. And then we know that the story of Nanda Baba and Mother Ashoda. Nanda Baba and Mother Ashoda were in the previous life, they were known as Dara and Drona. They were the great devotees of the Lord. They did a penance and they wanted to have a child, Krishna, like a Krishna, like a child. Then Krishna decided that Krishna like a child is not possible, that then I should be appeared. So this was also the pastimes again, because it's mentioned that Srila Prabhupada and Avracharyas mentioned that Nanda Baba and Mother Deshoda is the eternally Nitya Siddhas, and along with Krishna, the original father and the mother of Krishna is Yashoda and mother, the Nanda Baba in the spiritual, in the Goloka Vrindavan. So then they appeared also in this world. So Krishna had to come down into this world. So they had a desire. This devotee had a desire. So Krishna had to fulfill. Then Krishna appeared in the form of their baby form and the baby in Vrindavan. And similarly, Mother Devaki and Vasudev. Mother Devaki and Vasudev, initially they were the sons of Sutapa, the Sutapa and Krishna. And then they were meditating upon the Lord. Then Brahma instructed to have progeny in this world. They went and meditated upon the Supreme Lord, and then Lord Narayana appeared before them and then mentioned that. And even for the Drona and Dara, Brahma appeared before them, not Narayana, Brahma. So Brahma's words has to be fulfilled. So then Lord appeared. Similarly, here Sutapa and Prishni, they were also desiring to have a child like Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana appeared in their mother's womb, Prishni's womb. That's why Krishna is known as Prishni Garbha. Then that same Lord also appeared before Kashyapa and Aditi as in the form of Vamana, in order to fulfill the desires of Mother Aditi. Similarly, that the same personality appeared as Vasudeva and Devaki. So this Krishna mentioned that, Narayana mentioned that Sudapa and Vishnu, I would appear you 3 times in your life. That's why Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna is also appeared before them. So the devotee is Krishna always there to fulfill the desires of his devotee. So Krishna mentioned to Narada Dev in the scripture Padma Purana, Naham Tishtandi Vaikunde, Na Yogino Hrideshuva, Yatra Gayanti Mad Bhakta, Tatra Tishtami Narada. As Krishna says to, when I am not seated in Vaikunda, Naham Tishtandi Vaikunde, Yogino Hrideshuva, I'm not seated in the heart of yogis. Yogis were doing the penance thousands of years for doing the penance just to see the darshan of the Lord. Just to see the darshan of the Lord. But it's very, very difficult. But it's on the other side. The devotees, the pure devotees, the bhakta, Krishna is easily accessible. Krishna is easily, he is bhakta valsala. He is directly coming to their life. And as we know that Mother Yashoda, such a great exalted devotee, even Brahma and Shiva cannot come to that level of. Even Shiva personally come to see Krishna and came to the doorsteps of the Nanda Bhavan. But Krishna was not even ready to give darshan without the permission, without the authority of Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda was not even allowing to give darshan, Krishna's darshan to Lord Shiva. This is the power and the potency of Mother Yashoda. the devotional potency. And eternally, the Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba is the father and mother, the parents of Krishna in the abode of Golok Vrindavan. So this is the power of a devotee. Naham dishtandi vaikunde yogino hrideshva yatra gayanti mad bhakta. When Krishna's name is chanted, we know that Villamangalam Thakur, when Villamangalam Thakur very beautifully sang the beautiful this bhajans of Krishna Karnamrita, then Krishna would personally come and hear that beautiful songs of from Villamangala Thakur, Krishna Karnamrita. Beautiful song. Krishna would personally come and listen to that. The devotees, Krishna is so merciful. He's very dear to his devotees. So that same Krishna that manifested in order to give that the complete, the full, the magnanimity, that the mercy to each and every one of, especially in this age of Kali, as Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that Kalir Doshe and Rajan Ashti Ego Ge Mahan Guna Kirtanadasya Krishnasya. In order to fulfill all this, Krishna himself manifested in the age of Kali. And then that is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Mahavadanyaya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayade, who is written this once, Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami mentioning this Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayade, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna, he is Krishna himself. Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema, wanted to give that Krishna Prema. Namo Krishna, Namo Bhavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayade, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trishe Namaha Gaura. I'm offering my humble obeisance to that lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, this is what is we need to understand. So Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful, so merciful. Just be followed, just take up the holy name. And we know that initially in this scriptures, this original, the holy name is revealed in the Kali Sandharna Upanishad. In the Kali Sandharna Upanishad is the Veda, part of the Veda. It was always starting with Om. Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It was initially Hare Rama, beginning with Hare Rama. Om Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed that in order to give this mercy to everyone so that everybody can chant this holy name and attain this Krishna Prema Bhakti. Removed that and then reorder it and started to say, chant Hare Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everybody can attain that Supreme Abode, Supreme Lord without any doubt. Whoever takes up this holy name, and he can attain that the Prema Bhakti, Prema Pumarto Mahan. So dear devotees, this is the reasons of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami so beautifully explained this in this chapter. So let me stop here. Thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderfully participating and encouraging, so nicely that we can, every time we can listen and attentively hear this so nicely. So thank you so much. Let me stop here. And thank you so much, dear devotees. Kandiraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Very Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. So dear devotees, anything would like to add? Any reflections, any comments, anything that you want to? Please go ahead. Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, nice satsang, and only one question. So I think somebody asked yesterday regarding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please everybody, and Krishna, please everyone, all bhakta. So how come they do not please the Yashoda Maya and the Gopio? They wanted to stay Krishna in the Vraja, but he did not stay and he went to the Dwarka. How come he did not fulfill their desire?
I see. Okay. So the desires, and this is all we have to understand, Motherji, this is all pastimes of the Lord. So we also need to understand Yashoda, and they are Nitya Siddha. They are eternally there with the Lord. They are all manifesting here to engage in the pastimes of the Lord. Like just for an example, there is a wonderful drama. Okay, we come up with a beautiful drama. So this is the theme of the drama, that, then only it gives that kind of rasa. Suppose everything is same. Everything is same. There is no, actions. There is no, just because of when Ravana abrupted the mother Sita, everything, the scene is changed. When Krishna left Madhura, Krishna Vrindavana left to Madhura, the scene is changed. So when Madhura, from Krishna Madhura to the Dwaraka, scene is changed. So everything is changed. So what is happening here gives, see, just for example, every day you eat rasagula. Suppose you ate 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, fifth day, 10th day, you will fed up with it. But in between, you had, instead of rasagula, you had some, sour things, some bitter things, and so it will enhance the rasa of that you are honoring the bhoga or prasadam. But if you're eating every day the same thing, what happens? You'll fed up with it. So Krishna's pastime, Krishna's appearance, everything is in order to give the pleasure to his devotees and also the pleasure to the Krishna, right? It's a pastime. So every pastime, when Krishna enacts, it increases the pleasure of Krishna. This way, so that everybody comes to that. So when you play, when you act a role in a drama, you have to follow that. You have to fulfill that. You cannot change. This is the director, right? The director, the Yoga Maya, he gives that all the roles to everyone. Okay, you go initially. That's what he said. Advaita Acharya is, of course, this is Sadashiva and the Vishnu. And he has such a potency, and Lord instructed, okay, you go first as an Acharya, so that all the Acharyas, Madhavendra Puri, Ishwarapuri, Advaita Acharya, Sachi Mada, Jagannath Misra, everybody came first in this world. So this was also the instructions of Yogamaya. You go there so that you set up the scene. So now when you set up the scene, then the main character appears, right? In a drama, the main character appears and enact in such a way that everybody sometimes cries, sometimes, he goes through various problems in his life, and then everybody claps and comes up. And finally, when the actor, the main hero, then get into that finally, then everybody claps that word. So similarly, this is a pastime, Mataji. So Krishna had to go so that they feel that feeling of separation. So Krishna, out of all this, there is a two kinds of feeling of, the union and separation. Vipralamba and Sambhoga, right? Sambhoga and Vipralamba, these two kinds of the relationship and the rasa, which in especially when with Krishna. Then when he's a Vipralamba bhav, the feeling of separation is the highest rasa rather than the union. So this is all related to the rasa, which increases, enhances the pleasure, the rasa of the Supreme Lord. So this is also pastime. It's enacting a pastime. But Krishna never left Vrindavan. Krishna never left Vrindavan. So this is also another internal aspect of it. Krishna never left or never leaves Vrindavan. Only Krishna, the Vasudeva Krishna left to Madhura and Dwaraka, so that he has a different role to act. Sometimes the hero in a drama act like double role, right? Same person, but he acts like a double role. Similarly, Krishna was acting like a double role here. So Krishna was in the Vrindavan at the same time, and every day Krishna was also giving darshan to Srimati Radharani. But when it's a role, when we see it, as there is a feeling of separation from Krishna, then we also feel kind of more connected to Krishna. So when we see that 100 years like this, the devotees, the inhabitants of Vrajas, the gopis, were having a feeling of separation from Krishna. That's why when Krishna came back to Kurukshetra, met everybody together, and they tried to pull that same Krishna back to Vrindavan. That's we celebrate as the Rath Yatra. So this all enhancing that the rasa of Krishna. So this all had to be there. It's not
So
that
this is
just yeah,
all lila.
all
That's why
Leela.
we say all lila.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
got
that's
it.
what is. There is a Leela Shakti. That Krishna has a Leela Shakti. It's another Shakti of the Supreme Lord. That's also the potency of expansion of the Yoga Shakti. Yoga Maya's potency is also there, and Leela Shakti is also there. Leela Shakti is the higher than the Yoga Maya because of Leela Shakti, that the desires of Krishna, right, is manifest first. The Leela Shakti has such a potency. It is mentioned that even one who hears the Leela of the Supreme Lord, it has such a potency, even that it can, give that such a love for the Krishna just by hearing. That's the Leela Shakti, the potency of Leela Shakti. So one who has the Leela Shakti, then he can easily cross over this material world. One who get that the Leela Shakti. So that's why hearing is very important, because of what we are getting is the Leela Shakti of the Lord. Hearing the pastimes of the Lord. That's the great potency of the Lord as well. So that manifests and then work with the Yoga Maya, then all these wonderful, wonderful pastimes happens. Otherwise, we know that there was a beautiful pastimes why Lord had to come down, Mother Radharani has to come down in this world. He said that 100 years. After 100 years, Radharani went back to Goloka, but Krishna still little more, 125 years. Krishna was here in this planet and then left after that. So this is all time bound, and it's just this is just like a drama, time bound. And after that, everybody goes back Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, everybody goes place in the Goloka Vrindavan. They have eternal pastimes every day. That's Ashtakaliya Leela. Ashtakaliya Leela, same thing that we follow in our temple, the Ashtakaliya Leela, and the processes and the bhakti, the devotion, which we follow is actually mainly this Ashtakaliya Leela. And we worship the Lord like that. So this is the difference between other Smarta temples and our temples. We follow that very clearly. We are seeing the Lord as Krishna and Radharani in the temple and worship us like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody else? We see a lot of devotees here. Thank you. Any other comments, reflections? Any questions? Any comments?
Hare Krishna Babu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat. Hare Krishna Babu, Dandavat Pranam. So
Dandavat.
Prabhu, one time one Mataji, Kalindi Mataji maybe, mentioned that there is some Puran named Chaitanya Puran in Atharva Veda. Is it?
Atharva Veda, Chaitanya Puran?
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't know about that. We never heard about this. But can you please explain a little bit about this? Discuss.
The Veda is divided into four. There's the Vyasadeva, and then as you say that is Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is more on these various types of worships, right? And the Atharva Veda, and there are certain factor of it, certain sections of it actually mentioning about, of course, the appearances and the disappearances of the various great personalities is there. But I'm not sure about Proji about this Chaitanya Purana. Chaitanya Purana is referenced in the Atharva Veda. Allowed to search for it. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody else? Any other comments? Any reflections? Jai. Yeah, it's wonderful section, and we'll be starting tomorrow. There won't be any class because of tomorrow we have a program at the temple. Bhakti Asraya Maharaj is coming and speaking tomorrow evening at the temple. Please join if you can. And will be our next class is on Wednesday and then Thursday. Friday we'll be having this Radhyatra at the Ulta Radhyatra, Bahuda Radhyatra at the temple. And please join as well. And then we have a program. So Swam Bhagavan Kesha Maharaj is coming on Sunday at our temple. So it will be a wonderful section. And also that's the day Ashadi Ekadashi. It is my Guru Maharaj's appearance day, Ashadi Ekadashi, and it's also known as Pandharpur Ekadashi. And thousands of millions of people coming to the Pandharpur to see the Lord Vittaladev, Ashadi Ekadashi, and it's beautiful. Lord Vittala gives that magnanimous darshan to each and everybody, the Varkaris, and there are thousands of people walks miles of miles just to see the Lord. So they do get maybe like 1 or 2 minutes, even less than a minute of darshan. They stand in the queue for 13 hours and they walk for like miles for days, maybe months of walking. This is called devotion, dear devotees. They have such a devotion for the Lord. So Lord never, we know that the wonderful pastimes of the Tukaram Maharaj. One time, this Tukaram Maharaj couldn't come to the Lord to see the Lord. Tukaram Maharaj, there is another devotee was coming from the Dehu, the village. Tukaram Maharaj wrote a letter that I'm not feeling so good, so I'm feeling well. I'm so sorry, my Lord. I'm not able to come and walk to the temple, and I'm so sorry. I'm so missing you. So this devotee came and gave this letter to Lord Vittala. And then Lord Vittala then just kept it, in his bag. And then there were, understood that this is Tukaram Maharaj is, not able to come to the temple. And then Lord immediately ready to go from here. Then Rukmini Maya told to Krishna, Vittala, that, oh Lord, what about all the people standing in the line? If you go away from here, what would happen to them? So then Krishna waited for all this time. And then as soon as the altar is closed, Krishna took and Mother, Rukmini, Rukumai, both of them climbed on the back of Garuda and came to Dehu to see Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj was so astonished, and Lord Tukaram Maharaj saying that, why did you, Lord, that take this kinds of risk? In the night time, this is your nice time to, yoga nidra, and you took that risk of coming here, and what did I do? And what Tukaram Maharaj said, my devotee, I heard when I see that my devotee is there and then not feeling well, I couldn't, stay there like this. So this is, dear devotees, dear devotees, the Lord is showering mercy upon his devotees. We may think that, oh, this is, this is somebody said something. No, this all happens into that spiritual realm, that one who forgets, one who goes beyond this material realm by the devotion, and then, come to that spiritual realm. That spiritual realm, one can see everything very clearly. Very, the Lord showers that mercy wonderfully. So always, have that is our great fortune that we hear all this from the scriptures. We have an opportunity to serve the worship and the Supreme Lord and the devotees, association of the devotees, wonderful form of the Lord in the temple, and so much of opportunities. Never ever we get such kinds of opportunity, even any other yoga Prabhuji's, in any Vedas you got it. All that the mercy of the Lord is right in front of us. We are so fortunate in that way. All we need to do is just surrender, just take out everything from your heart. All these anarthas, all these egos, all this pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, everything. Just relieve it and just leave up to that. Krishna, Krishna, I'm yours. This is called surrenderness. I'm yours, Krishna. You do whatever you want to do, whatever way you want to do, but I am yours. Like Vilamangalam Thakur says that, Krishna, you may go from, but I do not leave you from my heart. You cannot even go from my heart. Unless and until I leave you, I do not leave you from my heart. This is the determination. So we should have that. When we have that, then what happens? Krishna never leaves from our heart. So will always stay there in our heart. And we can see Krishna in every moment. Thank you again. And please try to join on Sunday, and whichever way you can serve the Supreme and the devotees, and this is our perfection, dear devotees. It doesn't come just like that. By the mercy of devotees, we have this all wonderful mercy of Krishna. We have these wonderful facilities, wonderful devotees, wonderful opportunities. Morning, evenings, Bhagavatam, hearing from scriptures, Bhagavatam class, everything, and all this. This is not ordinary. This is very, very merciful. Lord's mercy is showering upon us. That's why we have this opportunity. Okay, thank you so much. We'll stop here. Anybody else? So finally, before we conclude, anybody else would like to add anything?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Tukaram Maharaj went back to Vaikuntha directly.
Directly. There is a place in Dehu, still there. If you go there, and that's a place I'm planning to visit, probably in December. So Lord personally came down. Everybody was seeing this. And Tukaram Maharaj mentioned that my Lord is coming. I'm going. Anybody would like to come? Even he called his wife. That wife said, mentioned that, no. You are hallucinated. You are just, saying something out of you're mentally not strong. You're mentally unstable. You're saying something. But he ran to the where the chariot came. The swan chariot came. The Supreme Lord came down along the same personality, and then took Tukaram Maharaj with the same body and went back to Goloka. And then nobody is seen after Tukaram Maharaj after that. So this was happened in not far away, maybe like 300, 400 years ago. And everything was very clear. The Abhangas and everything is there. And everything was mentioned, everything is there. And even there is a temple in Dehu, that it was also Vitala temple. And Tukaram Maharaj was personally worshipping this deity there in Dehu. And there is a place that personally the Lord was accepting, the bhoga which is offered by Tukaram Maharaj.
Okay.
And we know that there is Namadev. The entire temple is actually turned towards Namadev just to have the darshan. If you go to Udupi temple, the entire main entrance is, earlier it was main entrance from the east side, but the entire Lord himself turned towards the west because of to give darshan to the Kanakadas. So dear devotees, it's not just hypothetical or just hallucinated or fiction. This is very, very true. How Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "E edhamam prapadyante stamstadeva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha." I would reward them accordingly how they approach me. Everybody follows my. Everybody, everywhere Krishna is there in everybody's life. Not even a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. But when devotees of the Lord, how we see the Lord, how they approach me, and I would reward them accordingly. Mama vartamanu vartante manushya bharta sarvashaha. So Krishna is there. All we need to do, the degree of devotion that we have, accordingly Krishna reciprocate. That's all. Okay.
Yes, so very nice. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Dandavad Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Let's conclude today's section. And if there is nothing else, okay, let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarupasya. Kripa sindhu bhevacha padidanam pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Gandharaj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. Thank you. Hare Krishna.